Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to today's sessions of materials management. Today, March 4th, is a significant day for industrial engineers because from March 4th onwards, this week, the industrial engineering department of the industry as a whole, they observe National Safety Week. And this year, 2024, the slogan is Safety Leadership for ESG Excellence. ESG stands for Environmental, Social, and Governance. So safety first. Coming to today's session, today we will discuss Unit 13, the last session, that is performance evaluation and appraisal. Let us first discuss the importance of materials management. As we know, in any organizations, manufacturing sector or service, the output is either finished goods or services. So to produce finished goods or services, you need lot of materials. You need lot of raw materials, components, working process, and all. So material management takes care of the purchasing section, purchasing of the materials, WIP, and conversion systems. So proper management of material results in cost reduction and improving system efficiency. Always we try to increase the efficiency, the productivity. What is the productivity? Productivity is output divided by input. So if we manage the materials properly, then we can reduce the cost. So output divided by input. So input is reduced. So efficiency of the system or productivity will increase. So organizations have to procure the materials in advance and hold it for some time. For example, if you go to a supermarket, it stocks thousands of items in the shelf and wait for customers. And for an automobile manufacturing company, as we know, a car, petrol or diesel car, it requires almost around 30,000 components to be assembled. So thousands of parts are stored as inventory. So it is materials management is the planning and control of the activities related to the material flow from the suppliers up to the end of the conversion, that is production process. Using demand forecasting as input, material management involves preparing a master production schedule, which is known as MPS, and further using it for performing materials requirement planning, that is MRP, a detailed component-wise requirement in the form of bill of materials, etc. Materials management is the management of materials right from the time when demand originates or is expected to originate, leading to a need for production, all through the various stages of processing and manufacturing, etc., until it becomes a finished product and has been dispatched to a satisfied customer. So, any organizations, we have two external entities, suppliers, customers. So, it takes care of the purchase section, purchase materials from suppliers, work in process, and delivering goods to customers. So, it includes planning, organizations, and control of what? Of all aspects of inventory management, procurement, warehousing, WIP, that is work in process, shipping, and distribution of finished goods to customers. Activities of materials management include anticipating materials requirement, sourcing and obtaining materials, introducing materials into the organizations, managing the smooth flow of materials, and monitoring the status of materials as a current asset. Because whether it is raw materials or components or work in process or even finished goods. If you are not selling to customers. So all these are your working capital. So you are holding this means you are holding working capital. So if you are reducing your working capital, then your profit, your return on investment will increase. So material management also involves management of huge amount of important information. For example, engineering, supplier, project management, cost and delivery are part of materials management. Lastly, also it involves quality control as one of its integral function. So this figure, you can see the components of materials management: purchasing, logistics, material master, inventory management, valuation, MRP, etc., etc. Then coming to performance appraisal. Actually, this is the work of HR department, human resource department. HR departments typically create performance appraisals as a tool for employees to advance in their career for promotions and all. Definition of performance appraisal goes like this. A performance appraisal is the periodic assessment of an employee's job performance as measured by the competency expectations set by organizations. Because suppose X is an employee, he is working. Organizations set some standards. Organizations want something from the employee. So how much he or she has achieved and what is the gap. So that is the performance appraisal. So performance appraisal also involves comparison between the planned target and actual achievement on the various performance parameters on inventory control, supplier quality, quality control, project management, etc. And subsequently undertaking corrective measures if required for improvement. If the actual achievement is less than planned target, you have to take some corrective measures. Then performance appraisals of material management system is necessary to ensure that there is an optimum use of materials and prompt identification of unwanted materials. So you have to identify the unwanted materials and you try to reduce it so that you can reduce your cost and increase the return on investment. So system inefficiencies like late delivery, poor customer service, etc. can be identified through performance appraisal system in material management. So this is the process. First is employee evaluation. You evaluate the employee. Next is performance quality evaluation. Then actionable insight. We'll see. Types of performance appraisal. One is 360 degree. 360 degree means full circle. That means here the manager gathers information on the employee's performance typically by questionnaire. Questionnaire from whom? Questionnaire from all the stakeholders. From supervisor, from other performance appraisal, most of the performance appraisal, supervisor gives the decision. But here you collect information from supervisors, from their colleagues, co-workers, group member, customers also, because customer satisfaction is one of the major criteria. One can and self-assessment. So that is 360 degree appraisal. From supervisor, colleagues, group members, customers, and self-assessment. So this is your 360 degree appraisal. This is the ideal one. Next is negotiated appraisal. So here it uses a mediator to help evaluate the employee's performance with a greater emphasis on the better parts of the employee's performance. This is the third party. It's a third person. He is a mediator. It helps to evaluate the employee's performance. Third one is peer assessment. Here, the team members, your colleagues, work group, and co-workers are responsible for rating the employee's performance. They rate. Then is self-assessment. That means the employees rate themselves in categories such as work behavior, attitude, job performance, etc. Next, coming to some examples, real life example. If we go from hierarchy, means hierarchy of position increases. Suppose they join as assistant manager, then deputy manager, then AGM, GM, CGM, ED, etc. So hierarchy of position increases, the appraisal shifts from objective to subjective evaluation. Suppose for a salesman, like medicine sales representatives. So this, you can have objective evaluation. Like you can give a tabular format, like how much he has sold, means sales. Sales is how much in rupees, then quantities, then how much collection he has done, then what are the means new customers he has added, and how much is the slow moving items he has sold. So you prepare this, then rank wise, prepare the medicine sales representative rank wise. This is objective evaluation. But if suppose from in a company, from general manager to there are 6 general managers and you have to choose one CGM, then you have both objective and subjective. So if we go in the ladder, so appraisal shifts from objective to subjective evaluations. Performance appraisal motivates an employee to go to the next level with increased salary, responsibility, power, etc. Because if we put a person in the same responsibility with the same salary, he or she will get bored. His or her productivity will decrease. So performance appraisal helps to go to the next level. So how well a person fits the next role, that this appraisal has to take care. In subjective evaluations, you cannot have particular scale. So there might be some biasness. So here the mechanism is basic responsibility and key result area. You add BR for basic responsibility and key result area. This may include biasness, right? So that is why you go for 360-degree appraisal. You collect the information from colleague, you collect the information from supervisor, collect the information from customer and subordinates also. Another is section C. Here the GE companies and all, they adopt this. So here a format is given to an employee on the various parameters. Then you give the score and add total score and they rank the salespersons. Then you sit along with all that means suppose there are 10 supervisors, right? So they sit, all the supervisors sit with their boss and they decide top 20% for incentives. Right? Suppose someone's fast, maybe sales may be more than another person's third salesman. So they sit together with their boss and they decide the top 20% and bottom 10% also they segregate. So for the top 20%, they give some incentives and other things, and bottom 10% they will there might be some problems, so they will give training. So they are under scrutiny. So there is a bell curve also. The top 20% of the workforce is most productive and 70%, that means the vital 70 work adequately. The other 10%, bottom 10% are non-producers and should be fired. So here is the high performance, this top performance. Average is this 70. Then non-performance is this 10%. Then taking another example, just 1 minute. Suppose you take an example of material management section in SAIL, Steel Authority of one of the integrated plant of SAIL, Steel Authority of India Limited. So this is the materials management. You have a ED, executive director. Actually, in integrated steel plant, maybe there are 5 EDs. So one ED for works, another ED for materials management, another for projects, then for personnel and finance. So we are concerned about the material management. So ED, material management. So under him, you have 2 CGM. CGM material management, CGM marketing. Under CGM, Chief General Manager, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 general managers. Under general managers, you have AGMs and all. Suppose there are 6 general managers. So out of 6 general managers, 1 will become Chief General Manager. We'll see how the performance appraisal took place. This is a real life example. So 5 GM, say 5 GM, so 1 will be promoted to CGM for material management department. So there is a grading system. That means 1 is grading system. That means the mark is 100 marks is divided into 2. 1 is 85, another is 15. So 15, this 15 is interview. So both executive director and the chief general manager will conduct the interview of these, say, 5 general managers. So this is all subjective evaluations. Rest 85, 15 marks is for your qualification. Say suppose you are BTech, the entry level is of course BTech. If you are BTech, you get 10. If you have done MTech, additional to 12. And if you have done PhD in relevant area, you get 15. So 15 is the maximum mark. If you get PhD, you get 15 out of 15. Then for experience, the mark is 10. 10 is maximum. That means 2 for each year. Suppose you have 4 years experience, you get 4 into 2, 8. You have 5 years experience, 5 into 2, 10. 10 is the maximum capping. If you have 10 years experience, 10 into 2, 20, but you won't get 20. There is a cap for 10. You get 10. So 15 for qualification, 10 for experience, and rest 60 is the subjective evaluation. This will be done by the CGM. CGM is the reporting authority for GM, because GM reports to Chief General Manager and Executive Director. Executive Director is the reviewing authority. So here, reporting authority and reviewing authority, they will give this 60% as mark. They will segment the general managers as O, A, B, C, etc. So this is also, there will be a bell curve. 5% for outstanding and 5% of C. Next, coming to controlling in materials management. The growth in marketing initiatives, market segmentation, and increased competition has caused a growth in a variety of products that firm produces and sells. Take for example Maruti car. Maruti have hatchback, they have sports utility vehicle, they have multi-utility vehicles, etc. And each segment also, say for Grand Vitara, it has more than 15 variants. Right? So you have variety of product because due to markets and all market demands. So this has complicated the manufacturing and materials management functions of the farms. So due to sudden fluctuations in demand, long production runs for fulfillment of orders cause delays and stockouts may be due to lack of availability of raw materials. Because if you have lot of varieties, in each variety you have lot of variants, so your purchasing of raw material and component, the complexity goes up. On the other hand, sudden cancellation of orders and low demand result in building of excessive inventory. You have planned for something, but customer has suddenly cancelled your order. So you incur the loss. This inventory you cannot return to your suppliers at all. So these practical situations are likely to create a conflict in marketing and planning system. So there is a conflict between marketing and planning system. So always there is a trade-off. So that is why effective materials management is crucial to the performance of an organization. Effective management of materials. Material cost is one of the largest elements of expenditure, as we have seen in the earlier classes. It is around 70 to 80%. So management of inventory in line with the demand and strategies to reduce it are necessary for cost efficiency. So operating with fewer inventories offers a farm a competitive advantage. Fewer inventory means few materials, means less working capital, increase the profit. Then timely execution, implementation, and administration of contracts are important business needs. So development of proper relationship with suppliers and with other departments with organizations ensures smooth flow of supply to mitigate supply related uncertainties. Proper relationship with suppliers, that is important. When you can have your vendor management, vendor development program also. So if you help your vendor or supplier, the supplier will also help you. Suppose for example, we have seen that you have procured material, but the customer has cancelled. So if you have good relationship, you can approach to the supplier, and if he has another customer for that product, he can take your product. So that is the advantage. Productivity enhancement is a continuous affair that requires appropriate implementation of a material management. Then the most important thing, customer satisfaction, that is timely supply along with quality supply is most important, because how you can satisfy the customer wants quality product in less time, apart from pricing. Reduction of waste and obsolescence to a minimum is needed for cost cutting. So we have different types of control needed in materials management. There can be categorized into the following aspects. One is forecasting, next is purchasing and procurement. Then you have stores and stock control. Next is inventory planning and control. Last one is production planning and control. We'll see one by one. First is forecasting. Forecasting is you are forecasting the future, demand forecasting. You forecast what will be your future demand. And for always you are predicting future means future is associated with uncertainty, with some risk. So it is the basis for planning by establishing assessment assumptions about the future needs. So forecasting identifies the future needs in terms of demand of products and services. So what will be your product need or service need? It, as we have seen, this is dynamic in nature, which require constant evaluation and enhancement of accuracy. Because earlier class also we have seen, if there are some pandemic type of things, some industry it is negative, for some industry it has adverse effect, and for some industry like mass and pharmaceutical it has favorable effect. So materials managers and production managers need to make necessary changes in their processes continuously to align with changing business scenario. So the forecasting techniques, it can be divided into two. One is qualitative, another is quantitative. Qualitative, we have panel conscious discussions and all. You invite all peoples in a panel, all functional areas and all, so they will decide. Then Delphi method, Salesforce composite, buyer's expectation, market research. So these in qualitative forecasting includes this. Next, you have quantitative techniques. That means you according to the mathematical functions. So here you have time series analysis. You take moving averages and all, last 2 months, last 3 months. Then it is causal effect models, cause and effect model. So this is your forecasting. Next is purchasing and procurement. There is a little bit difference between procurement and purchasing. Purchasing is a subset of procurement. So procurement is a company-wide strategy for procuring goods and services for the best value and long-term. And purchasing, a subset of procurement that focuses purely on buying goods and services. So purchase is a subsection of procurement. So the functions of purchasing manager include reviewing product request. Next, soliciting and evaluating request. Analyzing current and potential suppliers. Then you conduct negotiations with supplier, because supplier negotiation is important. Then executing, implementing and administrating contracts. Developing forecast and procurement strategy. Developing working relations with suppliers and with other departments within the organizations. As we know that if you have like customer relationship management, we have supplier relationship management also. So all these functions require control at different levels of materials management. Then your stores and stock control. Here, this is the warehouse functions. In a warehouse, you receive the material from suppliers. Then you put away. Put away means where to keep which material. So this is important. Put away. Then picking. That means as per the order, you pick the item. Suppose single order constitutes n number of items. So you pick the item. Then proper packaging is important, because without improper packaging, material will be destroyed. So packing and shipping. So here you have the store, you have inventory control. Right? So this is deciding on binning, ranking, shelving, using pallets, blocks, stacking or flow storage, etc., depending upon the type of material. Inspection for incoming as well as outgoing materials. So stock taking and deciding appropriate policies. So it manages all warehouse functions. But in case of just in time, this inventory control and storage will not be there. For cross docking and all, you receive the material and you pack and ship in the same area, cross docking. Next is the inventory planning and control. This is crucial issue due to the direct involvement of heavy working capital. All the raw materials, components and others, it has direct impact on the working capital. So aims at achieving high fill rate, that is ratio of fulfilled orders to total orders. So generally here we have two major decisions to take. One is when to order and another is how much to order. When to order and how much to order. When to order is your reorder point. That means if the inventory reaches a particular point, you place another order. And how much to order is your economic order quantity. What is economic order quantity? This is the optimal order, EOQ. If you order this quantity, this is the graph, x-axis is order quantity, Q, and y-axis is cost. Here we assume there are two costs. One is this ordering cost, another is carrying cost. If the quantity, the order quantity increases, the ordering cost decreases. Order quantity increases, ordering cost decreases. Because if your annual, this we are calculating per annum. If your annual demand of sugar is 60 kg and you are ordering 60 kg at a time, so you have to place only one order. So your ordering cost is this. But if you are ordering 1 kg per order, so this is 60 number of orders. So your cost is this. So this is the ordering cost. Order quantity increases, ordering cost decreases. But carrying cost, what about carrying cost? You are ordering 1 kg. So you will carry only 1 kg. So you require less jar, you will require less security. So it is this. But if you are ordering 60 kg of sugar, you have to procure in your warehouse 60 kg of sugar. So you need a larger warehouse, you need larger securities and all. So your carrying cost increases. So order quantity increases, ordering cost decreases, and carrying cost increases. So if we add these two curve, this is the total cost curve. This. So first it increases, then this is your minimum, then increases. What is our objective? Our objective is to minimize the total cost. So at this point is your minimum total cost. So corresponding point on this axis is this Q is your EOQ, economic order quantity. So at this point, your total cost minimizes and the ordering cost is equal to carrying cost. So the equation for this EOQ is 2 into annual demand into ordering cost divided by holding cost root over. Right? So this is when to order is your reorder point and EOQ is how much to order. So modern inventory control, especially a continuous reviewing policy, requires connection between the point of sales purchase data and inventory of different products through implementation a robust IT system. This is your reorder point. That means when the inventory reaches this, you place an order. You place an order for how much? You place an order for this EOQ, economic order quantity. Next is your production planning and control system. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of these first 4, you decide to buy or make, and the last one is the plans are put into actions. Right? Suppose first is strategic business plan. Planning is first is strategic business plans. You are planning for future. That means suppose for automobile, we plan that the automation of auto industry department, or say we will have Maruti will have EV vehicles. So this is your strategic business plan. Next is your production plan. Production plan means Maruti, what are the segments of EV vehicles? Right, segments like hatchback, SUV, MUV, and other vehicles. So this is a more detail. First is EV vehicles of Maruti, then production plan is which segment you manufacture. What are the segments? Then MPS is master production schedule. So master production schedules means more details. That means suppose in Grand Vitara, what are the variants? There are more than 15 variants. So next you have MRP. MRP is material requirements plan. That means the detailed components and all needed. Next, production activity and control. So what are the things you in the inventory? What are the things you make? What are the things you buy? All the details. So if we go from higher to lower, then the level of purpose, this is more general purpose, this is more specific purpose. Then time horizon also decreases, then level of detail increases. In this production activity and control purchasing, you need minute details, right? Then planning cycle. So this is about production planning and control. Next, there are different views to materials management. One is Japanese views, American views, and European views. Japanese views, here the decision making tends to come from bottom and rely highly upon consensus decisions. So they involve the workers and all people for decision making. So procure from small vendors in proximity. The Toyota has started this milk run and other these things. So their strategy is they develop small vendors in proximity, that means in local area, they develop and they procure 100%. So it is a pull-based production activities. They use Kanban cards. The Japanese people, they have the Toyota and all, they use this Kanban card, pull system, just in time. The USA views, they focused on JIT approach. The system coordinates production plans with vendor production and transportation delivery so that goods can be removed from the carrying vehicle and placed immediately on production line. Say for example, Maruti today they have planned to assemble 1000 Grand Vitara of a variant. So 1000 Grand Vitara means how many tires they need? They need 4 plus 1 for stepping. So 5 tires per a Grand Vitara. So 1000 into 5. So they need 5000 tires. So they have informed this MRF company previously, so that MRF company, the morning, suppose 8 o'clock the production starts, assembly starts, before 8 o'clock, say 7 o'clock, they have delivered the truck from MRF company carrying the Grand Vitara tire, they delivered directly in the assembly line. So this is the just in time, and they call it as inventory on wheels. Inventory on wheels. It won't go to the stocks and all. So it eliminates a lot of time and energy. Then the last one is European views. It emphasizes on the optimal utilization of plants, capital, goods, labors, and invested capital. So there have been a few practices that emerged in different regions owing to different economic and social sensitivities. Next is one of the important topic, that is ABC analysis. ABC analysis, some people say, always better control. It comes from Pareto's law, Pareto's 20/80 law. That means Pareto states that 20% of the input, that is time, resource, and effort, accounts for 80% of the output result. 20% of the input, 80% of the result. So these are the vital few. So if you target this 20%, if you manage this 20%, that means you are managing the 80%. So here you divide all the materials into A, B, and C category. Certain items may have a relatively low value, and these items can often be monitored very loosely. Right? Suppose not and more. Bold. On the other hand, items with high value must be tracked carefully and monitored. Suppose spare parts like thermal power plant, the turbine blades and all. Right? So these are the critical materials. The amount is lakhs of rupees. To determine which inventory items should receive the highest level of control and monitoring, a method has been proposed, and it is called ABC analysis. As we have discussed, it is based on Pareto principle that proposes that 20% of items, this 20% accounts for 80% of the value, while remaining 80% of the accounts, this 80% accounts for 20%. This 20%. So here we'll see how we divide A, B, C category. Class A item, this class A. So here the first 20% of the items are assigned to class A. This first 20%, class A, these items carry on around 80% of the total material cost. So this is the percentage of value. 20% of the item, 80% of the cost. Next, so these are the valuable products, vital few. Then B, the next 30% is 20, 30, 40, 50, this 22, 20 plus 30, this 30% is of the items classified as B items. So these deserve less attention than B. And the last 50% of items are C items. These have the lowest value and can be monitored loosely. Now let us see the one example of ABC analysis. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 materials, 5 stock keeping units. The material code is this. This is the volume, annual volume, this is the cost. Say for last item, for material code 211, the volume, consumption volume per year is 7,000 and cost per unit is rupees 10, INR 10. Solutions. So first is the total cost value of each item is calculated as below. So it is given the material code, the volume and cost. So material code, volume and cost. So this is the rupees in volume. So the total cost value of each item is calculated. So how will calculate it? Means per year, what is the volume, rupees volume? You multiply volume into rupees. So first is 109, volume is 200, cost is 600. So 200 into 600 equals 1,20,000. Second, 26,000, 36. So 9,36,000. So 1,10,000, 80,000, 70,000. So this is we calculate the total cost value of each item. Step 2, arrange the total cost, product of volume and unit cost of each stock in a descending order. Right? So this we arrange in descending order. So first is 9,36,000. Next is 120. Next is 110. We'll see. So first we have 9 lakh. So descending wise, first is 222, volume, cost, rupees. So this we arranged in descending order. Arrange the total cost, product of volume and unit cost of each stock in a descending order. So here material code, volume, cost and rupees volume in descending order. And this is the total cost. So pick up the top stock whose aggregated total cost product of volume into unit cost around 80%. So how we will calculate? See, these are the corresponding cost and this is the total cost. Total cost is 13 lakhs 16,000. First is material 222. This cost is 9 lakh 36,000. So if we calculate this 9 lakh 36,000 with respect to the total cost, so it comes 71.1%. Next, 109, it is 9%, 8%, 6%, 5.3, etc. So if we add 71, because we want the stocks whose aggregated total cost is around 80%. So if you add these vital products, first is 71.1 plus 9.1. So it is 80.2. So around 80% here. So these two put together are 80% of the cost. So these two are considered as A category item. This material 222 and 109. So these are A items. So next, pick up the last aggregated total cost, product of volume and unit cost from the bottom of the table, so that these account for around 5 to 7% of the cost or around 70 to 80% of volume. So this is around 5%. So this is C and rest are B. So remaining items may be placed under B class. So the ABC classification schemes is as follows. That means you have to very serious about these A category items 222 and 109, because out of 13 lakhs, so around 11 lakhs, these two are consumed. Next is your Q system and P system. What is Q system? That means according to ABC, we segregate the materials into ABC, then you apply the Q system and P system. For A and B, that means for vital items, continuous review system or Q system is applied. So it is also known as reorder point system. For class C items, continuous periodic review. That means you select in 15 days or a month. In a fixed period, you see the materials and you give an order. So this is Q system, this is P system. In Q system, that means regularly you check the item. If it reaches a reorder point, reorder level, then you place an order. You place an order for how much? You place an order for EOQ, economic order quantity. Right? So this is the Q system. But in P system, in a fixed period of time, say 15 days or 1 month, you review the order position. If it reaches the reorder point, you place an order for how much? If you place an order for the targeted inventory. So initiation of an order in Q system, stock on hand reaches reorder point, you place an order. So here, based on fixed review period and not on stock level. Period of order, anytime when stock level reaches to reorder point. Here, only after the predetermined period. That means in a fixed period. Record keeping, this is difficult because continuously at each time withdrawal or addition is done, you have to keep the record. But here, in that period, you have to keep the record in 15 days or 1 month. Order quantity, here the order quantity is your EOQ. Here quantity of order varies each time order is placed. So size of inventory, it is less than P, it is more than Q. Time to maintain, higher due to perpetual record keeping, Time to maintain is less time due to only a review period you are giving order. Suppose this is one time period, this is second, this is third, right? So this is reorder point. So when order reaches this, in queue system, you place an order. You place an order for how much? You place an order for this. Dotted line is your EOQ, right? When it reaches this, you give an order. But in queue system, you give an order here, here, and here. Next is need for performance appraisal in materials management. Objective of any program is the need to systematically review and evaluate the status and performance of program. Here we have different varieties and all. So one is balance scorecard, another is a COR framework. We'll see. Approaches for performance appraisal in materials management. Here, programs, procedures, and practices for managing materials. So forecast related such as accuracy, completeness, usefuls, and compatibility with program plans and budget. So use of materials in the quantities for given. Here, this is the inventory turnover ratio. This is the matrix of performance appraisal system. Inventory turnover ratio is one of the important point in materials management. So it indicates how many times the inventory turned over in 1 year. So in other words, it shows how quickly inventory can be sold. So if you sold inventory very quickly, you have n number of cycles, then your return on investment will increase. For example, Asian Paints. Asian Paints, as we know, this is a number one player. This is a branded company. Generally, customer, they could go to the color shops and all. They asked for Asian Paint. This is the number one brand. So that is why the company is giving around 15% to the dealer. And the those who are painting and all and the supervisors, they take some money, commission. So the retailer has to give some 7 to 8% to the middleman. So another left is 7 to 8%. So it is very difficult for a retailer to, if the margin is 7 to 8%. So what the company does, the company has plenty of distribution house in each corner of India. So they hold only fast moving items, they hold. So rest of the items they take from the Asian Paints distribution. So that means they are operating in a less working capital with higher turnovers. So inventory turnover ratio shows how many times in a year the inventory is sold. So this shows the company with higher turnover ratio is able to sell inventory more frequently. That means higher turnover ratio means you don't keep much inventory. If you are keeping less inventory means your holding cost decreases. So it has a positive impact on return on investment. So with this ratio, we can easily compare the companies on inventory utilization. But the major disadvantage of this ratio is that we cannot compare two firms from different industries. So this is the Asian Paints, Asian Paints. This is the number one player, and it has many segments like exterior paints, interior paints, enamels, paint for wood, paint for your materials and all. And in each segment, you see these are the varieties of colors. So one cannot keep all these items. So it is available with the distribution house. And for some color also they use the technology, right? So computer will, you have to give the color, so they have the base color and all, so other colors it will drop and they will mix it. So next is the safety stock, right? So stock that is held in excess of expected demand due to variable demand rate and lead time is known as safety stock. Suppose in our household, please refer to this. These are all glass jar. Suppose your house, you keep the sugar in this jar. Suppose the jar contains, the capacity of the jar is 5 kg. That means each month you purchase 5 kg and put in the jar. This is a mark, right? This is imaginary. So if you mark in 1 kg, that means if the sugar as day increases, the consumption of sugar took place. When it decreases, when it reaches this is the safety stock. Our mother used to give another order. So this is the safety stock, right? So stock that is held in excess of expected demand due to variable demand rate and lead time. Because suppose you place an order, it will come in a lead time 2 to 3 days. So we will use this lead time here. Suppose for house X, this is suppose 1 kg. For house Y, it might be 1.5 kg, depending upon, suppose here the members are more, then you have to keep, your safety stock has to increase, or your lead time is more, then also your safety stock has to be increased. So safety stock reduces risk of stock out during the lead time. So the order is placed when stock depletes to reorder point. So during the lead time, if there are demand fluctuations, these are covered by safety stocks. So it may also be noted that inventory positions may go negative stockouts due to the large number of demands during lead time. Suppose in this you have safety stock and surprisingly some orders will come, unexpected orders will come, then you can have stock out. Right? Suppose you are in this level and suddenly at night at 10 o'clock there are some guests. Right? So it can be adjusted also. So this is the safety stock, right? And this is the quantity, order quantity Q. This is generally your EOQ. This is the reorder point. This is the safety stock. Next is your balance scorecard approach. So balance scorecard approach, it is a strategic management performing metric that helps companies identify and improve their internal operations to help their external outcomes. Internal operations to help the external outcomes. So it has 4 parts. One is customer, internal business, innovation and learning, and finance. Because other methods and all, it takes care of only the financial part. But here it takes care of the customer part also, customer satisfaction. Because as we have discussed, one salesman may achieve the target, but the customers might be dissatisfied. So it is a measures of customer satisfaction, growth and retention are the current indicator of the company performance and internal operations. The last one is SCOR. SCOR stands for Supply Chain Operation Reference, SCOR model. It helps business evaluate and perfect supply chain management for reliability, consistency, and efficiency. So here it focuses on planning, plan, source, make, deliver, and return. Suppose this is the organizations. So you plan Then you source the materials from supplier, make it, deliver it, and return. Then again in suppliers also, again here also they have this sourcing, making and delivery. So this model allows the firm to relate the weakness in their material management function of the supply chain practices. So this finishes the last module of this materials management.